Hello and welcome to Overcrowd, a commute up. I'm Joe, welcome back. Now I've decided to start again with the Overcrowd series, and there's a good reason for this. There's quite a few reasons actually. It was, number one, pointed out to me that I didn't really explain what I was doing as I was doing it, which is, if you've not seen the game before, is quite a crucial aspect of you watching this video. You would like to know what I'm doing, which is it's a fair point. Also, we are with new microphone, in case you can't tell. Splashed out on a snazzy new gizmo. So now you can't hear me breathing, you can't hear me spitting onto the microphone, which adds that little element of professionalism to it. So without further delay, here we are, Overcrowd A Commute Up. Basically, train station building game, or underground station building game, to quickly summarise that. It's quite cartoony, it's like Habbo Hotel. That's not, well, I think it, but it was also pointed out online. I was like, oh yeah, I see that now. So yes, on our main menu, we have these 6 options. Tutorial, fairly straightforward. I mean, if we click on that, I'm hoping it doesn't fire us away, although it has done. You get literally 2 bits. It doesn't actually take that long, and to be honest with you, it only really skims over the basics of the game, which is, it's good, but you kind of figure out more as you're going along. So we won't do the tutorial, I won't bore you with those. We've then got Network Sandbox, which is you're managing a few different stations, and you're unlocking things, you're going back to your old stations, and as you can see there, return to old stations to get 5 stars on them all. That was how I started. Now, it was also pointed out to me that for a YouTube series, I might want to consider Station Sandbox, which is just one station, and we'll just keep working on that one station. I mean, it says there, single station, sandbox mode, control terrain generation parameters, set your own goals, start with infinite money. Commute of the day, that's a challenge every day. It's very difficult. I've failed on that countless times. Kept going because I wanted to get the Steam achievement for no other reason other than that. Lots of frustration. But yes, commute of the day, good one. It throws you a curveball and you actually have to think about what you're doing. So today we are going to go with a station sandbox, and I've not got a save file here. That was my friend who got me into this game. So we're going to go with new. So I would like to just point out at this stage, I've never actually, hand on heart, done this before. So we're going to start money 14,000, starting bond 0. We don't want the tech unlock from the start, we don't want that. Starting reputation, you start with 50 anyway, so we'll leave it on that. Applicants, 3 people. Victory conditions, we'll have it endless until we get bored. Lose condition, we want that on, so if we get to 0, it's game over. Dynamic build goals, open station. Yeah, that's all looking good. We'll have it all as average. God, there's so much to choose. Just leave it average, number of floors, oh, there's so much to choose. So much to decide. Yeah, let's just go with it and see. And we're going to call it Joe YouTube, like we did the last one, because I'm not particularly inventive with the naming convention, and we'll see exactly what we get. So we will need an entrance and a track. Just zooming out, what have we got here? We've got... Right, okie dokie. That is something we could work with here, I'm sure. So, when you load it, you are presented with this lovely green map. It's lovely and warm and inviting. Then around the edges here, as we can see, you have got... Now, the different colours indicate what level it is. So if you're not sure when you're looking on here, you can have a look down here. So these little 3 squares here are our entrances, and these little hoopy thingies here are the tracks, as you can see, and different levels indicate how deep they are underground. So you can either start with the ground level here, you can work your way down to -1, -2, -3. You've got a variety of different entrances around the map. I'm going to take the camera to see there's an entrance down there and an entrance up there, all with different commuter rates. So yes, different amounts of people will come in through different entrances. Now I'm going to start by selling this bit of floor here, because flooring is a neutral cost. So if you buy 16 tiles for £20 each, you will pay £3.20 and you can sell them again, no matter how much or how long, what length of time they're in, you'll get the same money back. So we'll sell those, generate a little bit of cash at the top there. We've got 14,320 to play with. You've got this nice little interface down here. We shall have a flick through those in a moment. And of course you can see at the top there is no time on this game until you first open your station. So there's no immediate rush. So, edit floor, fairly simple. You just build some floor. Sculpt the floor, you can move the floor. In fact, you know what, rather than talking, let's just do it. So there we go, we'll build that to our first track. Sculpt floor, I don't know if it's going to charge me. Oh no, it's free. You can move the floor up and down to higher and lower levels. Infrastructure, well, you know, that's pretty self-explanatory. Infrastructure, so we're going to build a platform, except we've not got enough space. Oh, it's all going wrong. There we go. We'll pop another floor tile in there, and we'll pop our platform in. So we can only have one carriage, one measly, sad little carriage. But we can expand as we go. The trick of this game is, from what I've experienced, is not to expand too quickly, too soon, because you run out of money. And we've also got things for our staff like tool rooms, utility rooms, staff rooms and control rooms. More on those later. Facilities, they are things like turnstiles, ticket machines, bins. These are things that the passengers, because we won't call them customers, anybody that has watched my channel before will know that that is one of my pet hates. They are not customers, they are passengers. So yeah, that's for them to use. Utilities is for the utility room. Who'd have thought it, eh? But yes, so they're going to go in the utility room. They're things like that provide power and fuel barrel, etc. Tools are for our staff to use. Commerce is for passengers to buy things. And amenities is for our staff. We could also sell things we bought down here. Hire and fire staff. We don't get any people applying until the station's actually opened. Doesn't seem like a great way to run a business, if you ask me. Open the station and then think about hiring your staff, but it's what we're going with here. You've also got this procurement tree, which is as we transport more people, we'll get more of these little things called bonds. They're granted by City Hall for shifting commuters. And the more people we shift, the more we can unlock, such as 2-carriage, 3-carriage, 4-carriage train, better trains, more platforms, etc. So we can't unlock anything at the moment because we haven't done any work. So we're going to set up a really basic station here, and everyone's going to complain. Now I personally like to have my platforms the hashtag and then the hash markings and then 2 deep. So we need to configure our platform, and that's basically telling our game or our station what side passengers will be getting off the train. So it'll be this side. You always have to have the other side, which I think is a bit of an odd one, but yeah, you have to have both sides. And we are going to place our turnstiles. We'll pop them in the middle there. And then we'll put a nice little bit of fencing so it's nice and open. Isn't that nice? I forgot the first part is to pop the entrance, so that's where people will be coming in and out of. And we need to configure this. So if you're going through that turnstile, you are going to platform 1. And if you go through that one, you are leaving the station. And as you edit it, this little side here will change, so platform 2 will be coloured in there if you can go through there for platform 2. And of course, this one is for the way out. What else do we need? We need a bin, because otherwise it will get very littery, and people do not, because yes, littery is a term that we're using here. it will get very littery, and people don't like litter. They complain, and if they complain too much, your station ends up closing, and that is not good. We'll pop that down there. I think we'll just expand down there. So what we're doing, you have to build the floor tiles before you can build any rooms. We're going to use a utility room because we need to power the place. So we will pop that on there and stick a door on the end. Now in our utility room, we are going to pop some generators. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a nice amount. And then a fuel barrel. Let's have 2. Why not? Splash out. So the fuel barrel, after a amount of time, the generators will run out of fuel, and your staff will fill up from the fuel barrel and keep things peachy. We need another room. We need a tool room. So this is where our tools are going to go for our staff to use. We'll pop that door in there. And now the fence looks odd. Can we change that? Yes, we can. We'll pop that in there. Are you going to... Sometimes they bend round again so that there's not this gap. Because in real life, obviously, what you would experience with that gap is people would just sneak down the side rather than going through the ticket barriers. Sometimes it changes, sometimes it doesn't, but we'll flip that round and pretend we can't see it. So yes, tools, we can't unlock any of them yet, so that room will remain empty. We do also need a staff room, because otherwise they'll all kick off. Tell you what, we'll pop that in there. So when we expand that platform, we shall... It looks a bit weird, but we're going to roll with it. We are going to go with the staff room there. Pop the entrance on the platform. That looks really messy, but do you know what? We can neaten it up later on. We might need another bin there. Awesome. And that, before we open our station, we can have a little look and see what we're missing. So we have the entrance powered, we have a track, ta-da! And we have 2 turnstiles built, one for in, one for out. You need a ticket machine. Yes, of course we do. We do need a way of generating some cash. So we're going to turn those round, face them away from us. And yeah, good to go. So without further ado, here we are. Everything's powered. Here is our first commuter. Hello. So the train will keep recharging. Every time that gets to full, you can click on it to call a train. But first, while that's happening, we shall hire some staff. So in the last series, you will have seen, I tried my best to try and remember their first names. It didn't go well. What we are looking for is a kind of average skill set at this stage, because they're not going to level up just yet. We'll hire Mr. Bennett. Hello, Mr. Bennett. Here he is, eager to work. Going to the flag. Right, let's call a train. And it's quite a cute little thing. Rather sad looking with just the one carriage, as I say, but we will expand that later on. 4 people transported. Hello! Welcome to this station, which I completely forgot to name. We are going to call it Miniville Exchange. Can we actually... We can't actually change the station name. That is... right, well, if we can't change the station name, then it's rather pointless calling it Miniville Exchange. It is just our station. So, we need to... I mean, it's getting rather busy. If this train can only hold 4 people, we're going to need to expand fairly quickly, aren't we? Should we do that now, while we've got maximum of 2 carriages? Into our procurement, we can have a 2-carriage train. And whenever you alter the platform or the train, it starts this little cycle again, which I should have probably taken into account, but never mind, it's too late now. We need to go into our procurement tree and buy some tools. So we need a toolkit, a jerry can, a litter picker, and we've run out of bonds. That's fine. So in our tool room, we'll pop the jerry can down. Now the jerry can is what Mr. Bennett will use to move the fuel. The toolkit is if things break down. Oh, train's coming. Can't forget to click the train, otherwise nothing will happen and no money will be generated. And we need a litter picker, so that when the bins are full, we can empty the bins. We need to tell him what we want him to do. So priority 1 is to fix things, and priority 2, so when there's nothing to fix, pick the litter. Awesome. Everyone's complaining. If you look, our percentage rating is going down a bit because there's no plant, but it's gloomy because actually when you think we've got no lighting. So let's buy some lighting, and obviously lighting will use electricity, and the more electricity we use, the more of these little chaps in the generator room we will need. So basically you can see here, oh, call another train. You can see the lighter the tile, the better the effects of the lighting. So they might complain if they're down here that it's gloomy. But they shouldn't be coming down here because that's only the staff room. So Mr. Bennett says we need more wheelies. Yes, we do, because how can he, where is he going to put the litter? Wheelie bin. All the litter he takes out of the bins, he needs to put somewhere, and that will go in a wheelie bin in the utility room. There it is. Hello to you, sir. So he's off to get his litter picker now. And everyone's moaning the station rating is dropping already because it's quite a fast-paced game. You need to be really on your toes rather than... So they want a newspaper stand. Now, in the commerce, you can buy different shops. They will make you money. So if you're... it's quite a worthwhile investment. Also, the lower your prices, I mean, ticket price is £10. If you can't afford the fare, then God giveth thou legs. And walk. But yes, newspapers, shops and things, I tend to have quite a low little markup on there because then people will think they've got a bargain. If not, I mean, £2 for a newspaper, what happened to the free metro? But yeah, £2 there. And that will refill, sorry, keep going on and in and out of this menu. That will refill daily. You'll be charged £1 for every bit of stock that needs filling up. So people can buy a newspaper if they want. What else do we need? Staff only zone. We'll leave that for now. A bench. We can give them an uncomfortable bench and a plant. Because he did complain earlier, didn't he, that he needed a plant. We'll get some signal relays and what else can we have? A watering can. We will need a watering can for our plants, otherwise they will die. We can also... Oh, train's coming. So you can't get too engrossed in anything. So in amenities, that's for our staff. So we will buy Mr. Bennett some things for the staff room because I didn't bother with a staff room the first time I played this, and they all got so depressed and wanted to throw themselves under the next train rather than provide a good service. So we shall pop those in there so he can go and have a break when he needs to. Oh dear, cough, cough. Why are we coughing? What are we doing? The rubbish, if you don't empty the rubbish, will give off toxic fumes. So let's pop a plant in. There we go. Some plants. We'll turn it around so we can see what we're doing. And we'll pop some benches in. There we go. So they can sit down now. Rather than just whinging. Oh, train's coming. So yes, now what we need to do, because I am lazy and keep forgetting to call the trains, is we need a control room. So the control room that I've built is probably bigger than yours needs to be, but I like to leave it. I always like to, oh, you see they're all saying they're overcrowded. Well, that is the nature of the game. That is the underground. So earlier I bought a signal relay. I'm not going to use that yet because I never use the signal relays. Pop some lighting in so they can't moan it's gloomy. Yeah, I never use the signal relays. That's why instead of clicking the platform to call a train, you can just press a button on the keyboard, which I never use that. I tend to save up for, where is it now, utilities, the signal automator, where you're not required to do anything. It will just do it itself. Because when you get like lots of trains and tracks and they're all coming at different times and you've got your staff to manage because they're all moaning, you've got passengers all kicking off left, right and centre, you can't be thinking about the trains are an afterthought. Come on, get on, pack yourselves in there. Nope, you're all complaining. Excellent. So we've only got 1 hour left of this particular day. The station is open between 7 AM and 2311 PM. And then everyone goes home and your staff are allowed a little bit of time to think. This is not good, because if you look, our wheelie bin is full. So we need another one. There we go. Wheelie bin number 2. Same as your little fuel barrels are not like Mary Poppins' handbag. They will actually run out of fuel. Another train. There's no point. They're all going home. Not quite in time. And everyone that's bought a ticket and goes through just gets kicked out without getting a refund. Because it's a harsh world we live in. And hang on, I got some tools, didn't I? And I forgot to put them in the, there we go, watering can. Pop that in, and we must tell Mr. Bennett to water the plants. There we go, he's sensational. So this is our report from today. 21% of people completed their journeys. Not a huge amount, it has to be said. I know that on our trains at real world work, if only 21% of people got where they wanted to go, they would be held to pay. So they like the small plant, they like the fact they can get to a bin, they don't like the high prices. Well, do you know what? Live with it. Bad shopping range. What do you do with that? It's overcrowded and it's gloomy. But some of these statistics here will have come out before we put the lighting in and before we put the shop in. So there you go. You can see that's run out now of fuel. We'll speed it up. Get to work, Mr. Bennett. So he's getting fuel. That one's run out of fuel. That's what that little symbol is there. Oh, they both run out of fuel. Good job, we've filled them all up. We can see how we are doing with the electronics. So basically, without wanting to go too much into that, you can see what is generated and what we take away. Basically, if there's a blue line here, that's good. If it's flashing and everyone's complaining, that's bad. More generators are needed. So yes, he's done what he's doing, so we shall skip to the next morning. So as you can see, the bins have been collected, the barrels have been refueled, the money has gone down, the train is arriving. 8 people getting off. Sensational. Now, what I like to do here, and this is a tip I was reading online, is send, as soon as everyone's off there, send the train. Because it can break. Yep, it's broken. Excellent. That wasn't what I was meaning to show you there. Go on, Mr. Bennett, get the toolkit. When your train arrives with the 8 people and they all get off, that's absolutely smashing, we like that. But there's not 8 people waiting because the station's only just opened. So while they're all fannying around with the ticket machines, the train can be off and that little rechargey thing can be recharging. And then when people are here, there'll be a train. So I've not explained that very well, but that's what I do. Hopefully it'll become clearer. There we go, everyone can get on. So obviously the train breaking down acted like that going, recharging. I know what I'm on about, that's all that matters. So, I've left Mr. Bennett on auto rest. Now what that basically means is when he's tired, he'll go for a break. So he's thirsty and his despair rating is going up. So if we click on him, file, he's despairing, but yeah, he can have a drink from the water cooler, fill himself up, and then get back to work. You can set a call the train. You can set a schedule for them to take their breaks. You can change the priorities on there. But yeah, I tend to just leave them all on auto rest because then it's just another thing that I don't have to be watching over constantly. Because like I say, this small station now is keeping us on our toes. Imagine what it's like when we're all the way out here. Let's have a look, see if we've got anything else. We've got the signal automator, we've unlocked that. Sensational. So I can show you what I was banging on about now. So I'll get rid of you. So we put the signal automator in the control room. This is the control room. Oh yes, there we go. I didn't want to place it there. Go away. Ah. Right, yes, we'll pop him down here, because they generate a ridiculous amount of heat. Call the train first. They generate a ridiculous amount of heat, so we want them to be away from our passengers, and we link that to platform 1. So what that's going to do now is, at minutes past the hour, that will just automatically summon a train, providing it can be summoned. It doesn't work too well, it has to be said, in my experience, because at 7 AM, every train will arrive. Even if you set it not to arrive until past, it will still fly into the station at 7 AM, and it kind of throws out, oh, for God's sake, is the train broken down again? Oh dear. Well, Mr. Bennett is on the case. But yes, so you can send the train early, etc., choose your stop, the carriages. But yeah, so in my experience, the timings of arriving is a bit iffy. So if we've unlocked that with the automatic signalling, we must have unlocked something else. Let's have a look. Facilities. Nope, nothing in there. Utilities. Nothing of interest. We've got the megaphone. Let's unlock the megaphone. So basically, Mr. Bennett will walk up and down, yelling at people to move down, to spread out. There we go, you can be priority 3. So when everything else is done, megaphone it. So we don't want to pay him for standing around doing nothing. That's not what we want. Sensational. Train is busy, on the way. Nice small plan. And if you look, we've also got these toxic fumes, which we can't do anything with right now. But basically, people will complain. And I think it also, look, cough, cough, cough. Because the train broke down, it's filled the platform with toxic fumes. Now later on, we can get around that. We can put air ventilation in, but we've not unlocked that yet. So yeah, we're just yeah, yes. We'll ignore that. Pretend we can't see it. And yeah. So if you look now at 1700, without me clicking, that train is arriving. Awesome. We might have to actually, looking at what, Mr. Bennett's emptying that bin, the bin's almost full over there, the plants need watering, but, we might have to hire him a companion. And the train has broken down again, so that is, for God's sake. That's a lot of broken down trains we've had through this station. It's rather irritating. Go on, quick, take out the trash, go fix the train. The commuters are very upset, they want to go home. It's 20 past 6. Eh, dear me. Come on! Fill the bin! Nope, he seems to almost get there and then kind of, not quite managed. There we go. Right, go fix the train. Look, the fumes everywhere. Everyone's going to be choking. This is not helping the reputation. I mean, we're above 50, but yeah. There we go. Fixed. 12 out of 8 people boarded. So that is well and truly overcrowded. We've got all these people here who are not going to get home tonight. They're all coughing and spluttering. We can't even put a 3-carriage train on because we've not got 13 bonds. Oh well. It is what it is. And on that note, that's probably, roughly, where we can wrap it up for today. Like I say, sorry if you watched the old videos and were like, yeah, I'm enjoying this, but yeah, we started again. I hope I have explained things significantly better, perhaps over-explained, and you thought, yes, we are just talking. We're not thick, we know that. But yes, thank you for watching. If you've got this far, I'm assuming you enjoyed the video. Why not click subscribe so that you can see all of the new things that I post. Now that I've invested in this microphone, endeavouring to actually do YouTube things and update videos, and it'll all be good. Yeah, you've all not got a cat and mouse chance of getting on there. Yes, click a like at this video if you enjoyed it. I really hope you did. If you have any ideas for this station in the comments section, that is where you must post them. Other than that, I shall see you next time. Cheerio.